we're going to just make chilli. I make my chilli just a wee bit different. Well, actually making my chilli, I make it probably the same as anyone else. 2 tablespoons of oil straight in. My pan's already hot just to save some time. I get fed up eating things the same way all the time. So I've stopped having this with rice. 2 chopped onions. And I've actually started having it with tortilla wraps and cheese sauce. So we'll get to that later. Now I've got about 450 grams of mince here. That's more mince than I would often use. But I'm hoping it'll do 2 nights. And I got the mince on offer. So we might as well have 2 big man's portions of mince tonight. Often, as you know, I quite often, you know, if money is tight, substitute your mince with a carrot or 2, just chop them up really finely. Or some lentils, you know, or maybe say 1/4 of a cup of lentils. Good substitute for mince if you're watching your pennies. But I got this on offer, so I'm hoping, like I say, it'll do 2 nights, because actually if you use the wraps and the cheese sauce method, you actually don't use as much chilli as you would do with rice. So you can either freeze it, or Ken and I have got a meeting tomorrow night, so it might be quite handy just to be having this again. So 2 onions chopped in the pan, 2 tablespoons of oil, 450 thereabouts grams of mince, and then get into the flavours. So my pan was so hot that mince is almost browned already, as you can see. It's quite handy if you just have everything ready to go. So now we're needing to add some flavours. Hello Aria, how come you're in and about, eh? Well, I think we'll just have to stop you from eating the cat biscuits just right there and then. Cheeky chops, are you going out? You just ignored me probably. There's our Springer Spaniel come to visit. Normally we have a gate thing over the kitchen door, but Kenny's using the kitchen doorway for filming.
Helen is...
Get yourself down. Get, scram.
Right.
Good, out.
Yeah, in you go.
So we've got 2.5 teaspoons of garlic powder. Are you going in? This good girl. I think she's awake. Okay. 2.5 teaspoons of garlic powder. You never know the minute in this house, honest to goodness. Keeps us on our toes. Keep you all on your toes too. You'll be like, what on earth is she doing now? So 2.5 teaspoons of garlic. 1 teaspoon of coriander powder. I'm going to be laughing all the way through here. I'm sure he thought he had shut her out, but never mind. She's a bit like a certain puppy that we all know and love from Skye, Leach, the Houdini of the dogs. Well, I think Harry is his match. Right, a teaspoon of cumin. That's her away this time. A teaspoon of cumin, well maybe a teaspoon and a quarter, because like I say I've got quite a lot of mince there. So, in case you didn't catch that, that was 2 of garlic, 1 of coriander powder and 1 and a bit of cumin. Just mix them in, because it breaks it down just ever so slightly, and hopefully that should stop it being coarse by the end of it. Now this next bit will be entirely up to yourselves. Oh gosh, I can smell the garlic coming through already. I'm using paprika and chilli. Now when I say it's up to yourself, I mean the chilli. It's up to yourself how much you use. I'm going to use probably about, in fact I'll use a teaspoon of paprika, which means that I'm only going to use half a teaspoonful of chilli. I've got Nadia, in fact that is probably just about as much as I'll need. I've got Nadia home for dinner tonight and she doesn't like things too hot, and this is quite a hot chilli powder. Could always adjust it again later. And some flakes, if I could see my chilli flakes. What have I done with them? I've got them out. So just about 1/4 of a teaspoon. I love these. I think they're like wee jewels when you put them in. We'll probably drop more. We'll just, hopefully the cheese sauce will negate some of it. Quick stir around again, just get the flavours through and just releasing some of the oils from them. And just, so it's like you can imagine, it's like you're letting your spices sweat. So as they just start releasing some oils. And really we're just about there. All we're needing to now do is pop in just a tin, bog standard tin of tomatoes. Now you're going to be putting in tomato puree, so you don't actually need to be buying a really dear tin of tomatoes. I'm going to have half a tin of water going in. So actually that's just so as you get most of the juices from the side. 2 tablespoons of tomato puree, or I just do 2 big squirts and hope that's about 2. And stock. Now that's up to you. I'm using some beef. I actually had some oxo cubes, so I'm going to just use 2 oxo cubes, but I will come back and taste this later and decide if I want to maybe put some salt in it. I'm not even going to bother with pepper at this stage. I'm just going to let it all come together and cook. Now I'm going to leave this for about 45 minutes to an hour. You're wanting it to reduce down and make sure everything's cooked through. Good flavours. I do have kidney beans to go in later. I'll make a face. I don't like kidney beans. If I had my own way, I would just use a tin of baked beans, but that's not always very fair. So tonight I shall concede and give some kidney beans out. I'll be picking them out, or picking out my one before the end. So that's it. I'm going to just let that come up to the bubble, put the lid on and cook it for about 45 minutes. And then we'll come back and make the cheese sauce. Okay, so chili's just about ready. I came back 10 minutes out, had a quick taste of it. So I put in a teaspoon of sugar. It was just ever so slightly bitter, but then that would be just the tomatoes. And I've put in the kidney beans because they need to cook through for about 10 minutes. So quick sauce. Just about, usually about 25 grams of butter, but I'm not making quite as big a sauce as normal, so I'll go with 20 grams of butter. 1 dessert spoon of corn flour. Everything just straight into the pan together. Teaspoon of mustard, English preferably, for the flavour. Use my wooden spoon here. Now I'm in a bit of a hurry. Nadia's just announced that she's off to the cinema, and of course got to feed her before she goes. So about 300 mils, no, 250 mils will be plenty. Depends how many you're making for. I'm making for 3, so if you're making for 4, probably about 300 mils if you needed. I've only got 150 grams of cheese because, like I say, it's not a big sauce. I do have my heat already on, so it's hopefully it'll make up quite quickly. So yeah, so Nadia, she's like, oh, are you forgetting that I'm going out in a minute? And it's like, well, I can't forget if I didn't know, but hey ho. And then I've had Naomi just come home from her work. What are you having for tea? I said, chilli. Yes, I know that. She says I can smell it. So I'm like, why? Oh, she says, you could have made me a corn one. So that's me in the bad books. Not quite got into the habit of Naomi having gone vegetarian, and I've got kind of gesticulating
what did you
again.
Just put in there?
What have I just put in? I can't remember. Pepper. Black pepper. There you go. Too busy gabbing. So I've added a little bit of black pepper. Good job my apprentice in the background's paying attention. So we'll just hopefully get this up to the bubble quickly. And then we'll just compile it. Now I've also made just a wee bit of salad. I think I'm the only person that's having it tonight, so there's not very much. So literally just a basic salad. It's just pepper, tomato, sweet heart lettuce, I think is what Kenny had got. Yellow labels. And some saibi. And I've made up a dressing. So this is just as simple a dressing as you can get, as long as you like garlic. So it's twice the amount of oil to lemon. So just however much you need then. And some salt. And that's it. So it's just garlic, lemon and olive oil. And that is it. Oops, big splashes. That's because I'm trying to be in a rush. I'll be coming through and washing my floor in a wee while. And that just makes a nice fresh dressing for the salad. Kenny wasn't fancying it with wraps. I was going down to get my pepper and he's like, with a wrap, salad. Like, well, I'm sure if you have burritos and things, it all has lettuce and what have you in it. But maybe he just doesn't feel like being a rabbit tonight. Probably the fact that there's all that mince in there, he'll be thinking I'm eating like a caveman tonight. Proper meat.
Ugh.
Ugh, aye, that's about it, right enough. Try to keep my hair long, easier to grab onto when I get out of hand, getting up to mischief. Right, don't want it too thick, so you're not needing that to keep heating, because if you let it keep heating it'll just thicken up, and of course it's going to thicken with the cheese. So like I said, about 150 grams of cheese straight in, and then we'll just get 20 seconds is all your wrap will need in the microwave. Now if you don't have a microwave, just follow your packet instructions. I think the kind of a common way is maybe putting a wee drop of water over them and into tin foil in the oven. But I am just going to be lazy and do them in the microwave for a whole 20 seconds helps if I put them in. Yeah, so it does help if I put them in. And you had forgotten something. Right, get the cheese sauce finished. I'm going to go into one of these laughing modes in a second. How's it not come on? Never mind. Just do it that way for a change. Some nights you just know things just, you know, from the minute Aria came through tonight, you're like, yep, this isn't working today. Now, that might not just be pourable, but it won't matter too much. I just need it to melt here. And yeah, I think you know that, don't you? You know in advance if that's it, things are just not going to be right. Something's not working. But hey, you've just got to keep going. Right, out with the wrap. Kenny just told me 27 years I've been with this man, and I was looking for somewhere to put my wooden spoon, and he went, that's what the hole in the handle's for. No idea if it is or isn't, but certainly it made sense. So if it's not what it's for, it's certainly what it's going to get used for now. So we have one humongous pot of chilli.
Shift your hand.
Shift my hand. And I'll just need to get a spoon. Now like I say, you don't use as much on the wraps. And just literally spread it over one at a time. Pull into the ends. Now it's up to you if you want to leave one open-ended, and obviously make them as thick or as thin as you want. But the wee one, my wee one, 19-year-old, my wee one will not necessarily take too much. And then of course that will likely depend whether you're going to have it the next day as well. But you can always come back for more. No point wasting it. Squish it out. And then we're just going to drizzle, or dribble, whatever. We're dribbling or drizzling here. Some cheese sauce right along the edges. And obviously, if you have the one that's going to have some salad on it, that will look even better. And that's just a different way to have your chilli in wraps with cheese sauce. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.